Hello world, hello world. Welcome back to my channel. Call me Biz. Norm Macdonald. Man, rest in peace to Norm, man. Norm has been making me laugh and smile for a little while now. Like what, 2-3 weeks since I've been reviewing him. And y'all been picking out the good ones, man. And like I said, I got a whole list. There's a few comedians that I got a whole list of, and I appreciate it. Look, if you enjoy this content, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, like the video if you like the video, leave a comment, let me know you were here, all right? No more ghost watching, okay? If you ain't got nothing to say, just be like, I was here. This is Norm Macdonald, the Dirty Johnny joke, all right? And they said this is best joke. So this is his best joke, according to whoever titled this. I'm ready, let's watch.
Well, I can tell a joke.
Go for it.
Yeah, please do.
This is what we're looking
Please.
for.
Yeah.
There was a little boy in school named Dirty Johnny. Now, he's not dirty in this joke, but he'd always be a hellion in class, and the teacher didn't think much of him. So the teacher has a project, or not a project, but an in-class thing. How'd that go again? She says, now, this is what you're going to do here, class. I want you to stand up. I want you to stand up and tell the class what a story from your life, and then afterwards say the moral to that story. So a girl puts up her hand. Yes, Becky. What's your story? So Becky stands up. She goes, my dad works for the hatchery here in town, and what happens was he got about 15 eggs. And he put them all in one basket, all in the same basket. So he put all his eggs in one basket. And he put it on the horse and buggy and drove back home. And by God, Becky says, the bouncing and all the eggs broke. Well, that's a good story, the teacher says, but what would the moral be to that? Becky says, well, the moral is, don't put all your eggs into one basket. But goddamn, says the teacher, that's a good one. Anybody else? Marjorie puts up her hand. Marjorie, what's your story? She says, well, my dad works for the hatchery, as all of us. Thank God for the hatchery. She says that we'd all be
Was
lost.
that like a plant?
But anyways, my dad knows that eggs become chickens. And so he was counting his chickens,
like
and he added in the eggs, you see. And then he put them on a horse and buggy to go to town, and they all broke. Well, what's the lesson to that? The teacher says she can't understand. And she says, well, don't count your chickens before they hatch out of an egg. Mm-hmm. So the teacher says, that's a great one, too. Anybody else? Well, wouldn't you know, Dirty Johnny has his hand up. So the teacher's like, holy God, I don't want it. But on the other hand, I made an oath to every child, should I suppose I gotta. All right, Dirty Johnny, what do you have to say? Johnny stands up. Stories about my Uncle Terry. He never worked at the hatchery. On account he was in Vietnam, and he got disability. You don't even like people who work at the hatchery. But the story happened far from these shores, in a little town called Da Nang. Terry was not well liked. His whole troop left him, abandoned. And he woke up in the weeds, and all they left him with was 3 bottles of Jack Daniels, some weapons. Terry stood up and downed 1 bottle right away. Said, if I'm going out, I'm going out. He took his Balishnikov and a couple of Glocks and his 2 bottles, and away he went. He found a town. And he didn't know if it was Charlie or if it was one he was sent to protect. But all he knew was he had hate in his gut. So he started firing.
What?
And he fired the Kalashnikov with an arcing kind of, like a farmer would with hay, with a scythe. And sure enough, the men fell like hay before him.
Damn.
And then the women, and by God, I'm ashamed to say it, but then the children. And finally, all was left was Uncle Terry standing in the mud and the blood and the glory. And he touched his pants, and it was wet, and he said he was ashamed. He felt shame, Uncle Terry, for he'd pissed himself. Well, he touched it again. It was not urine at all, but ejaculate.
What?
And Uncle Terry felt pride where shame once was. And the teacher's like, good Christ, what kind of a story is that? What the hell is the moral to that? Well, he says, when Uncle Terry's been drinking, you don't fuck with him.
Yo, what? Yo, first of all, I was already thrown. I'm like, all right, we went from the hatchery to Vietnam. Like, wait, what the fuck? This shit, it switched up scenery so quick. All that to say, Uncle Terry has been drinking. Don't fuck with him. But what he said, he felt pride where shame once was. Is that what he said? Wow. You know, at first I was like, wait, was he there with Uncle Terry? I'm like, what the hell's going on? But see that see, that's the thing, man. And I'm so used to it by now, these long these long rides just to get you right where he wants you, and then boom, punchline. I don't know if I don't think this is his best joke though. Saying this is his best joke so far from what I heard. The Genesis cheese one lives rent-free in my head. That shit, cause I'm still like, why they telling me that he didn't do it? It's gotta be connected. They said, nah, it's not connected. It's just a whole bunch of done, man. You're thinking too much into it. I don't think so. I don't. Go back and listen to that joke for real. Go back and listen to that joke for real. And the turtle joke was pretty dope. Nah, this was good though. When Uncle Terry's drunk, don't fuck with him. Imagine a child saying that story at school. That shit is traumatizing. Anyways, man, I told y'all there will be a lot of Norm. All right, I told y'all there will be a lot of Norm. Keep them coming, and I will keep watching them. And you know what I'm learning from Norm also? The art of storytelling. You know, there's a few comedians that could tell I feel like a great joke is really a great story. You know, like a classic joke. Like when Dave Chappelle tell jokes, he's really telling you a story. And what I like about Norm is that he's telling you a story, but the story's packed with so much shit, like you might get sidetracked a whole bunch of times. That's why I like he stuffs so much stuff, even minor details sometimes that has nothing to do with the joke itself. And that's dope because you're like, all right, where this is going, it really keeps your attention. So I'm learning the art of storytelling. I am terrible at telling stories. I ain't gonna hold you. Every time I be having a story in my head, I'm like, yo, wait till they hear this shit. This shit's gonna be hilarious. This is a hilarious story. By the time I'm done telling the story, I'm like, huh. That ain't go like I thought it was gonna go. Anyways, y'all let me know how you feel about it in the comment section below. Let me know what's next from Norman. I got you, all right? And I will see y'all in the next one. And guess what? You better be there. Peace.